Homes are like old memories. They always remind you of your past, and we are reminding ourselves of the past episodes from this week of Good Company for the Best of Good Company with me, Hollie Taylor. I'm Hollie Taylor, and an interesting house is officially on the market in New Zealand, but that's okay. If you ever wanted to maybe move to a new country, this could be a house that you could own because this house, very unique. Imagine just sitting there in your living room and your view changes. Just like you're at 360 at the CN Tower. This is a rotating house. Pretty wild, hey? Can you imagine? Oh, look. There's some water, there's a tree, there's my garden. Honestly, it was an engineer who designed the home, and he built it 35 years ago. And it kind of got me thinking about unique homes. And what are some of those unique features that you would love to have in your house? Because in our home, if we could put in secret passageways, me and my husband would love to do that. I've always been fascinated with Casa Loma and how you go into the study and there's that little stairway that goes up to the second level. And I don't know, I just think it'd be really cool to have these hidden passageways. For my husband, it would be having a book that you pull and it unlocks a revolving door and you're suddenly in a hidden room. So, I don't know. We don't have anything to hide. I mean, we would just show everyone because it's so cool. But it's something that we would love to have. If we designed a home, I'm pretty sure somewhere there would be a hidden passageway. So, what unique features would you love in your home? I'm sure 20 years ago was open concept. Now, are we ever going to go back to closed concept? Sometimes it would be nice, especially with little ones when you just want some space, some quiet space. 905-338-1250 with the handy and fun ideas that you could incorporate into your home design. I'm Hollie Taylor. I've got a good story for you. As we've talked a lot over the years of different kinds of technological and medical developments. I think for me, seeing COVID tests that you could do at home was revolutionary. And now there's a lot of different kinds of tests. So pregnancy tests, check. COVID tests, check. Strep throat tests now. You can do at-home ones, check. And now there's actually a handheld test for breast cancer. Yes, I know, this is wild. It uses your saliva and actually can give you an accurate reading in 5 seconds. So this is something that they're testing out at University of Florida and the University of Taiwan. And it is portable, it's extremely quickly, and it's also cost effective. I mean, they don't have to go in and do these biopsies and do the same kind of invasive testing to see if somebody has breast cancer. They're using biosensor works and using paper test strips and the antibodies to see if there's any cancer biomarkers in people's saliva. So this will be so incredible because, I mean, you think about the mammograms, exposing your cells, male and female, to the radiation for MRIs, ultrasounds. This definitely takes a lot of work out of the testing process, makes it faster, and could save lives in an easier, more cost-effective way. So there you go. Look at this. Technology, the medical field, doing some pretty cool things. I'm Hollie Taylor for Good Company, and honestly, this Sunday felt like a huge throwback for me as my daughter came out of Sunday school with a bracelet, and you'll never guess what that bracelet said. WWJD. What would Jesus do? It instantly transported me back to the 90s. And I just thought of all the things that we experienced in church growing up. And then it reminded me of, I don't know how closely you follow social media, but there's this trend that's saying, I'm a mom, of course I fill in the blank here. So we're going to play that. I went to church in the 90s, so of course I... made a WWJD bracelet. Or how about this one? I went to church in the 90s. Of course we had fellowship that was just food and included open-faced buns with egg salad. Those are like memories ingrained in my brain. Just like these incredible times of food and hanging out after church and open-faced buns with, yes, egg salad. I don't think I've had egg salad since then. If your church still does this, please let me know when your next fellowship is, because I want to be there. 905-338-1250. The things you remember from church back in the 90s. We're talking retirement. Brian Dirksen, no signs of retiring. In fact, we mentioned that in the interview Johnny and I had with him a couple weeks ago in the Why Me Project podcast. And he was just saying, retire from making music? That's such a part of who I am. Similar to the story of the one we just mentioned about the Sawmill founder, Bill Parton from the UK, 96 years of age, loving work, loving the purpose that he has there, and not quitting. So when it comes to having goals for your retirement, what are you wanting to do? I mean, there's so many things I'd love to do if I didn't have to be, weighed down by having to go to work every day. I hope my boss isn't listening. I mean, clearly I love what I do, and for as long as I can, I will do this. But imagine just not having to wake up and go to work like you are in retirement. What would you do? I so love what Izzy had to say. She says she's 2 years away from retiring. She is looking forward to really taking on a larger role with the grandkids, to helping out her children so they can have more freedom and to hopefully help them with their mental health. So I love that. Can you imagine just hanging out with little kids all day long and they're like the grandbabies? Because I heard have the grandkids first if you can. Because the grandkids are, a little less work because you're not the parent. So, yes, we know based on biology, it doesn't work that way. So, Izzy, thank you so much for sharing what your goals are for retirement. Let's take a look at another one. Paul texted in 905-338-1250. He's retired, working on doing some of his hobbies, but as a job, doing some woodworking. That's great. Can you imagine if you love making things? Like a bench or, a swing, like a porch swing. And you don't have time to do it. And now you finally do. And because you are so good at this, you can also make it into a job, just like a fun hobby. Phenomenal. Paul, thank you so much for your message. I'm Hollie Taylor. I kind of want to take it all back in the form of AI. Producer Mike's chuckling in the wings.
It's scary.
It's something.
Remember the one with Will Smith eating spaghetti? That was like 6 months ago. I don't know what has happened.
He's like, I wasn't eating spaghetti. There are definitely parts of it that, yes, do terrify me. Parts of it I'm not really for, but unfortunately it's here, which means that we have to do our best to understand the technology so that we can also use it for good. Otherwise, it'll just be people using it for things that maybe aren't so good. So the city of Columbia in Missouri actually has rolled out AI. It's a artificial intelligence chatbot on their website, and it's to help citizens find answers to general questions. So essentially, they are using AI to be more efficient in communicating with people basic needs or basic questions they may have about the city, or when's the parking ban, if they have those in Missouri. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, this is very convenient, but when it gets to the point where I'm calling somebody and it's AI and not a person, I would much rather just a person to have conversation. Like, I'm just maybe old school in that regard, but I would just rather have a person do it and say, hey, how are you? And I know AI can do it, but there's just something about knowing that there is a human being on the other end of that phone. So far, this is just going to be on their website, and this will be able to operate outside of regular business hours to assist the public. I don't know. How do you feel about this? AI at a service desk? I honestly just get images of these silver metallic robots at a desk during regular business hours. Maybe I'm going too extreme on this one, but I don't know. Thoughts? AI, it is now everywhere.